Okay, today I am going to demonstrate my summer routine. It's actually a little bit humid here in Colorado, which is unusual, but it rained all night, so I get to try out my humidity routine. I am using Not Your Mother's Curl Talk and Uncle Funky's Curly Magic Curl Stimulator. I use this as a gel. Looks like a gel, feels like a gel, holds like a gel. I'm using it as a gel. So, I shampooed, conditioned. I wrapped my hair in a t-shirt when I got out of the shower. It's semi-wet. I like it just like this. So, the first thing I do is I am going to mousse. I'm going to do mousse gel mousse today. Big clob. Throw this over here. Another big clob. All right. Now, I have a few different brushes I like to use. I have these three. Denman Scrunch It brush. And then I call this a flexi brush. I don't know if that's the right name or not. So, just to distribute this mousse, I'm going to use this flexi brush. I'm just brushing it through. Not styling by any means, but I want to get it distributed. I have very dense hair, so I like to get it all over. There we go. Distributed. Now, for the gel, I pay a little more attention. I section it. To be honest, I'm doing this for you guys. Sometimes I don't do this part. I just start slapping it in. But we'll do it nice, okay? So one pump of the gel. I probably could have made one pump go all the way, but we'll do another little half a pump. There we go. Now, we are going to distribute and style at the same time. I'm going to use my Denman. I could use the flexi, I could use the scrunch it. I like to do this, hold and scrunch. This section of my hair is pretty stubborn. It's not very curly, it barely is wavy. So I just do the best I can. Sometimes, depending on if I need a haircut or not, I actually twist this section because if you can see it, I'll do this. Because if you can see it and my layers aren't great and it's showing under here, you can tell it's pretty straight. But it's good enough for me today. My summer routine, I always say it's good enough because it's going to go in a ponytail. I'll go to a pool, the lake, we boat. All right. I care about this section most, so I'm pulling it up and we'll save it for last because I'll show you some tricks if you have any issues up there. All right, so one pump of the Curly Magic for here. We'll do a little half pump because I got some back here. One pump here. All right, we got this all distributed here. Just raking it through. Now, if I wasn't using the Denman or a brush of some sort, I would be much more careful. I would be doing this and trying to keep my curls here, but because I use the brush, I use this out of laziness, to be honest. All right, so I am going to start here. I kind of go up at an angle with this drop and scrunch. want some volume, so I'm lifting this up off the roots. There we go. See, you can already see where it gives some volume. Just want this up. All right, now we're gonna do the top section. And the top section I learned a lot about. For my hair, so one time when I went to the salon, the manager came over and was talking to me, and I showed him that I needed to get this gray covered up, and he said, people don't notice your roots coming in gray because it's not a focal point of your hair. This is the focal point. So I paid attention to that and thought, okay, so as long as I have this focal point in good order, working well, then I'm okay. So I pay attention to this section more than anything else. So I'm going to put a pump in here. This right here is more of my problem child than anything, and it's because right here I have a pretty good scar. And it is a different curl pattern there. You'll see I get like one big giant curl there. So here I can do the same. Just going to show you some different techniques here. If you really want the top to shine, I do this, and I do this wrong, but I don't like to wrap it around the handle. So there you go. You can use this one. This one gives me a little bit of a looser curl, but I can also twist it so it works out. Oops. There we go. There we go. But you can see that that section right there is kind of a problem for me, but I don't care. It is what it is. I don't focus on that. Just focus on what you can do. All right. Now, this section here is the focal point of my hair. For some reason, this just is the section that cooperates the most, curls the most. And if this section is all good, no one notices if the rest of it isn't great. So, vertical or horizontal. It's up to you. I think I prefer this way. I can do a little twist, so I add a little extra curl there. I don't have to. It's just something different. But again, it's that focal point. See, I can do this. I'll show you here. See if we notice a difference. Once it's dry, let that shake. Okay. And again, I'm going slow to show you guys. To be honest, when I do this, it's pretty quick. All right, we'll do a little twist here. You guys will be able to see these and see the difference once it's dry. This one we'll do this way. Scrunch. Now, this side right here is usually fine. It appears thinner because I don't have as much here as here because of the part. So sometimes I do like to have a little bit of volume here, so I will show you a trick. I can do this. I can even do my twist section this way, and then bring it back and let it fall, and it'll give some volume once it's dry. Do a little twist here. Again, just this top section with some attention, and it makes it look like my whole hair has been curl trained and it looks all great. Just the top section. All right, so now I would plop or micro plop. What I do depends on the day. If my kids need some breakfast, or I've got something I want to do, or I want to go sit in the sun for a little bit, I'll plop. Otherwise, I micro plop. I don't even scrunch it. Hands flat, flat. I just push up and hold. And I really push my fingers at the roots because that's what takes so long to dry. My family's outside doing yard work and I'm sure you can hear them. It's summer. Alright, so just pushing flat. It's kind of like plopping, just a little less time. Alright, so I've gotten some of the excess water out. Got a little curl going on here. Now I do my last step. Mousse. Going back to my curl talk, mousse. I do this usually in 3 sections, but I got quite a bit here. This last step, for some, might mess up their clumps a little bit, so you should be careful. If your clumps fall apart easily, you can always just not do this. Or you could glaze over. I'll show you. We'll glaze over. If you really have clumps that break up easily, but you want some extra hold, spray gel would be perfect at this point. It would be perfect. I don't have a spray gel. I do actually, but it's not the best. And it's really old. And it smells like grapes. Alright, so I've got the back. Here's my problem area. I'll give it a little extra scrunch. And we're set. So now what I'm going to do is blow dry because I don't like wet hair. However, in the summer, I can go sit outside and kind of cool it off and warm up, get some coffee, get something to drink, and go sit outside and let the sun do its magic, but it's not sunny today. It's kind of rainy-ish. So I'm going to blow dry. I will show you how I blow dry. I will not make you sit through the entire blow dry session because that would take 30 minutes of watching me blow dry. I hover diffuse the entire time. Sometimes I do 2 and 2, 2 lights, which is medium, I think. And sometimes I do 1 and 1. So I'm going to start and show you how I diffuse. I diffuse all of my hair until about 90% dry by hover diffusing. Focus on the roots. This is why I like the flat. I know most people like to do this. When I do that, it breaks up my curls at the bottom, makes them bigger, and these are still kind of tighter and smaller, and I just don't like that look. But I do this at the very, very end. But I do hover diffuse till 90–95% dry. You could also root clip here if you wanted to do some root clipping, or you diffuse however you diffuse. I hover diffuse because it works for me. More definition, way less frizz. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will be back and we'll see the results. Okay, so I came back mid-diffusing so that I could talk about a couple of things. One of them is Smaster's technique. So when I'm diffusing and I get to halfway, this is a little less than halfway, but we'll just pretend this is halfway, and I can feel that there's not enough product, or that it's breaking up, or it's not enough hold at all, you can add more product here by wetting your hands, really wet, applying whatever product you want, and either praying hands or scrunching it in, or however you want, to add more product in. But I also wanted to interrupt the diffusing process to talk about why I hover diffuse, because it's been such a long time since I started hover diffusing that I forget to talk about that sometimes. This isn't true for everyone, but it's definitely true for me. and my hair type. So I have wavy hair. It's heavy wavy hair too. I can diffuse with the bowl and get it all up, you know, and scrunch it, and my hair is definitely curlier. If you look back at previous pictures or videos of mine, my hair was curlier, which most people probably prefer. I don't have a preference. I just want my hair to look good if it's wavy, curlier, or whatever. But one problem I've always had with my hair, always had with my curly hair, is that right after I wash and I take some pictures, it looks phenomenal and everyone, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And 6 hours later, 10 hours later, whatever, it's fallen and it doesn't look as good. So I thought, well, one way to eliminate that would be to do it in a way where it doesn't fall. So I no longer scrunch like crazy, and I don't do this to diffuse it. I'm trying not to touch it too much because it falls. If I hover diffuse, I am drying it in its natural state where it wants to be, because if it's falling, it's telling you this is where we want to be. So the weight, the products, everything else, if I hover diffuse and it dries and I'm done, it looks like this the rest of the day. And tomorrow, I mean, I might lose a little bit, gain a little length as I consider it. But for the most part, it doesn't fall anymore. I don't have to worry about it not looking the same 10 hours later. So I know not everyone's hair is the same. Some people can diffuse like crazy and get it curly and pretty, and it stays that way all day. However, if you've ever had that issue where you feel like it falls, you might consider it. I know sometimes just one little thing will hit right and you're like, aha, that is it, that's my problem. So I try to share every little detail of my issues so that maybe someone else who has the same issue will think, aha, that's it. So, alright, now this time I'll really be back after it's dry. Okay, I was just kidding about coming back when it was dry. So, I was going to show you now that my hair is about 90% dry. The roots are pretty dry, which is nice. I'll show you how I kind of mess it up a little bit. Alright? So I'm just going to show you a little tiny bit of what I do once it's about 90% dry. See how I get in there and kind of mess it up a little bit? That's how I get my volume, even though I hover diffuse. Is I just kind of go in at that last 10% dry and mess it up. Just kind of helps not get as much frizz. But this time I'm really dead serious that I will not be back until it's 100% dry. As promised, I would not come back until it was 100% dry. So, here it is, 100% dry. There's no cast to break really today. It's a tiny bit. So I won't be doing any breaking of casts. Minimal frizz, as you can see. I'm trying to get, I can see frizz, but that's my normal amount of frizz, maybe even less than my normal amount of frizz. So we're gonna call that a win. For some that might be a lot of frizz. I will fluff my roots a little bit though, just because, not that my hair needs to be bigger, but I like to break up any clumps at the roots, which is why I don't put much product in there, because it's just really easy to break it up. But now, because I hover diffused and I didn't try to make it curlier or bigger than it normally is, even though it's pretty big, it shouldn't fall. There's nothing to fall. This is exactly where my hair wants to be. If it does fall, it just falls smaller. So I can just refluff my roots by bending over. I don't really bend over very often in front of people because, but I will for you guys. Someone on my videos already commented, yikes. Wait till they see this. Alright. I mean, you don't keep it any more real than at my house where I have the lawnmower going, kids upstairs yelling. All right, so that's it. I'm done for today. It'll probably end up in a ponytail. I know, what a waste. But I just wanted to show you guys my Curl Talk mousse, my gel, which isn't a gel, but I'm calling it a gel because it looks like a gel, feels like a gel, mousse routine for summer with a brush. And remember that I can use either of these brushes. I like them both equally. I used to have a wet brush. It was so cute, it had like a little monkey on it, and somewhere it disappeared. I replaced it with this wet brush. It's not the same. So I do miss my wet brush with the monkey. I would love to find that wet brush again. But for now, I use these two, either one. You can kind of see, remember here I did a little twist. I don't remember exactly which section that was. I do believe here, which is where my scar is, so that worked out pretty well to cover up where that's normally pretty straight. Over here is where I kind of did it this backwards so that I could get some volume, which worked because usually it's flat to my face. But I just want to show you the results. And here's my summer routine, so now I'm going to go do summery stuff. Bye.